Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about my thoughts and experience with this watch, the metal G-Shock Square GMW-B5000. I've purchased this in March last year, 2021, and now it's basically end of March in 2022. So just a little bit over a year I've had this watch. This one I have here is the 1CR version, so it's not the J or like the JDM model, but I'm pretty sure all versions of this watch, no matter what market it's manufactured for, are made in Japan. Just like this one here, as you can see, is made in Japan. So first of all, I'm just going to get it out of the way and say that this is by far my favorite watch I own and have ever owned, and I'm never going to get rid of this one. This will stay with me basically forever. This was one of my dream watches when it was first released, and since owning it, it has been a very special piece for me. There are some things I dislike about the watch, which I will go over, but in general, I really love this watch. So starting off with the long-term review, I want to first show you the exterior so you guys can see how this watch has held up after a year of daily use. Keep in mind I wore this watch almost every day and it has stayed on my wrist basically all day. The only time I take off the watch is when I go shower, and even though I know G-Shocks can be used in the shower and a lot of people do shower with them, I just personally choose not to do it because of this tiny chance that, the soapy water can potentially damage the seals and mess up the water resistance. But yeah, as you can see, it is in great condition with just normal scratches around the case and the bracelet, as you would expect with any normal watch. Everything still feels very smooth though, and there's no sharp edges at all around the watch or the bracelet. The quality overall is just outstanding for this metal G-Shock, and it feels very high quality. I've had more expensive Swiss watches in the past with a bracelet that feels much cheaper than this. None of that here. This feels very solidly built and well manufactured. Now, of course, a big thing to talk about regarding the exterior is, of course, the glass. So I'm gonna get a little closer to the light here so you can see. This is how the glass has held up, and it's important to show how this has held up because this is just mineral crystal. It is not sapphire glass. So on my watch, the glass is still in excellent condition, as you can see, with no noticeable scratches on the crystal. I think the primary reason why this has held up so well is because the glass underneath is beneath the case rim here, which is what makes most of the contact when you hit it against something. Say for example you hit it against a wall or a door, like my phone for example. The way this case is designed, it prevents the glass from hitting the surface of the object. So most of the times it's going to be the outside rim here that will take the damage. If you do hit something with a protruding object, then of course you can hit the glass. But so far mine still has no scratches, and I've hit my watch plenty of times against random things in my day-to-day life. Now I would say this is one of the things I dislike about the watch, is that it doesn't come with sapphire glass. At this price point, around $500 to $600, I would kind of expect to have sapphire glass, and it would give me a lot more comfort knowing that my crystal won't scratch as easily. I know some people have said that this is a strategic move by Casio because mineral crystal is supposed to be more shock or shatter resistant than sapphire, but I feel like sapphire glass shattering is not common nor likely, and it's even less likely to shatter, especially when it's protected in such a tough design and case like this. And to prove that it is just as shatter and shock resistant with the sapphire glass, the more expensive G-Shock squares that now cost thousands of dollars, such as the newly released MRG models, they all come with sapphire crystal. So there shouldn't be any trouble with the sapphire glass, and I wish this model came with it. Now onto the sizing and the comfort. This is a very comfortable watch, which is kind of surprising to me at first since it is a big metal G-Shock. This watch feels just as comfortable as any other watch I've worn in the past, even more so sometimes. But it is just a kind of a heavier watch, and you can definitely feel it on your wrist. I personally don't recommend wearing this when running, especially if you have a loose fit on your wrist. When it's loose, it kind of just slides and smacks around on your wrist, and it actually hurts. One time I've actually had a slight bruise from the watch smacking my wrist. Take my current Seiko off. Put on the G-Shock for you. But yeah, one time I've actually had a bruise here from the watch sliding around and smacking my wrist. When I have a tighter fit, however, kind of like how I have it right now, I don't have any problems with running with the watch on. I've actually played football or soccer, however you want to call it, depending where you live. And I didn't have any discomfort issues once it fits snug on the wrist. This actually brings me to another thing I dislike about the watch, and it's that these end links here don't articulate. As you see here. So these two end links here do not move. This makes it feel very big on people, especially with smaller wrists like mine. And it also sometimes creates some kind of gap on the wrist when you wear it. Right here. But over the past year, I noticed my wrist size has actually increased slightly for whatever reason. So the gap is not as noticeable now, but it would look and feel better for most people and me if these end links could articulate more. But going on with the way you size the watch, that's actually one of the things I really like about this watch. This uses spring bars in between the links here. So it's very easy to adjust. This is actually my first watch with spring bars. My first time adjusting this watch, I actually just had some kind of pin or needle. All you gotta do is poke these holes and then the spring bars will slide right off. And I was able to size this watch in less than 5 minutes. Actually, at work a month ago, I had to adjust it in the middle of work while I was at the office because remember how I said my wrists got slightly larger over the past year? Well, that made the watch feel a lot more tight while I was wearing it, and it annoyed me a little, so all I did was take a thumbtack I had lying around the desk, and I easily sized the watch a little bigger using the micro adjustment here. And it took just about like a minute, maybe a little bit over a minute. It was super quick and so easy. I love the way that the spring bar adjustments work, and I wish it was seen a lot more on different watches that I've used in the past that still use like the traditional pins that you gotta hammer out and stuff. Just real quick, the clasp is very simple to use, very strong. I have never had this come apart on me when I didn't want it to. It has always stayed secure on the wrist over the past year. Now I'm not really going to talk too much about the app for the watch, which is right here, because I really don't use it. The only time I used it was to adjust the settings on the watch when I first got it, because it is a lot easier to adjust settings on the phone than it is to manually adjust settings here, where you have to press however many buttons, how many times, hold this, how many, So adjusting things on the app is a lot better than adjusting it here. but other than that, I don't really touch the app. Actually, talking about the app, the battery indicator is now on the application. And one thing I want to mention about the battery is that the Tough Solar charging takes a lot longer on this watch than it did on my previous resin models. I thought it was just mine, but apparently a lot of other people have also said the same thing. When I first got this watch a year ago, it came with about half battery filled, and I wanted to charge it fully to make sure that the Tough Solar is working fine before I missed the return window on the watch in case it was defective. So I had to actually leave this charging next to a window in direct sunlight for about like 4 to 5 days in order to charge it from halfway to full. So it did take quite a while to charge this one. But ever since I fully charged it about a year ago, I haven't really cared or looked at the battery percentage much. And from the times I have seen it, it has stayed pretty much full or nearly full. So the battery is not really an issue. It also has multi-band 6 and Bluetooth. I know a lot of people don't like the Bluetooth, but I actually really like it because whenever I want to manually adjust the time, I can just sync it to my phone to get the right time. Unlike my old 5610, which only uses multi-band 6 and doesn't really sync during the day. But with the Bluetooth, you can just sync it whenever you want during any time of the day. The module that comes in these metal ones syncs 4 times a day. And on mine particularly, it syncs during 12:32 a.m., 6:32 a.m., 12:32 p.m., and 6:32 p.m. So basically, whenever it's 12:32 or 6:32, this watch will be trying to sync to my phone. Now, it does fail pretty often if your phone is not close to the watch or it's in your pocket or something like that. But it doesn't really matter to me because it's bound to at least sync 1 time during the day out of the 4 times. And I actually should be able to just sync it right now if I just press this button. It should sync the time and also register my GPS location on the app. Okay, so I guess it didn't do that. Maybe I need to have the app open. Let me turn the app on for you guys. And it should work this time. I usually don't have to have the app open, but apparently this time I did. So yeah, you can see syncing was successful, and now I have that RCVD indicator at the top. Now, regarding this watch and the whole experience, the biggest problem for me to overcome was actually the mindset. So what I mean by that is, when I first got this watch, I didn't want to use it that often because I wanted to baby it. It looks so nice and shiny, and it looks like a luxury watch. This was, at the time, my most expensive watch purchase. So I was trying to baby it, but at the same time it felt weird trying to baby a G-Shock, and it prevented me from wearing the watch that I always wanted to wear. Other reviewers actually talked about this before, saying how there's kind of an identity crisis with this watch. Like, is it supposed to be more of a luxury watch or more of a dress watch or a tool watch or a beater watch? To me, it's kind of everything. So I decided I was just going to wear it every day no matter what I do, because I want to wear one of my dream watches. Like, I wanted to have this watch. So after I got out of that phase of trying to baby the watch, I enjoyed wearing this so much more because you get to enjoy it fully for what it's meant to do. It's a solidly built watch that looks beautiful, yet it's rugged, and it can withstand almost anything you throw at it. After I got all these scratches on it, I think it looks even cooler at times because I know it's been loved and worn. and it's a watch that I can always trust and rely on. So if you guys ever buy this watch and you are in the same boat as me, trying to, you don't wear it that often, or you're trying to baby it because you don't want to get it scratched, my suggestion is to just wear the watch. It's meant to be worn, and you guys will enjoy the watch so much more. So after a year of ownership, clearly I really love this watch. In the past, I had a video titled My Favorite Watch, and I made a video of the G-Shock Square 5610, but shortly after I got this metal G-Shock, I gotta say this is by far my favorite watch that I have ever owned. I can wear it with a suit, I can wear it with shorts and a t-shirt, I can wear it while playing sports or doing things like yard work. It's kind of like a watch that just works for any occasion, and it is my perfect watch for any kind of situation that I might be in. If this watch interests you and you would like to try it out, I would most definitely recommend that you guys give it a shot and see if you guys love it as much as I do. I have 1 year down with this watch and I got plenty more to go. So that's the end of this review on this watch, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys all in the next one.